Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live session of Live Episodes, your first step to develop positive mental well being. I'm Tony, Toto, or Anthony, your professional certified life and mental health coach. Kumusta kayo? Kumusta ang Sabado? Comment down below. What is your recent win today? Okay, ano nga ba yung recent nyong panalo? Okay, comment down below for tonight's live session. No, before tayo we moved on. So, shout out to our live viewers who shared, who commented already ang ating Mars na si Ma'am Matibay na si Angelic. Hello, and of course our colleagues from alumni organization na si Maa, which is si Panteng. Hello, Panteng. Stay safe and healthy. Toto, Rolf, and family. Thank you so much for watching, for leaving your comments, Ange and Panteng. Hope you can join me tonight and learn together ano nga ba ang boundaries and how to set boundaries para sa sarili natin and for the people around us. At the same time, we will talk about ano yung mga benefits of setting boundaries. So, samahan niyo ako tonight as we talked about setting boundaries to improve your mental health. And yes, so I'm back again. We are live, of course, Life Coach Tony PH Facebook page, Lead Your Life Coaching Community, and Life Coach Tony PH YouTube channel. Ayan, so to get a daily dose of life and mental health coaching and updates, ano bang hinihintay ninyo? Like, follow, share, and subscribe subscribe yung ating mga social media channels. If you are watching this live or on replay, please leave a comment, follow, like, and share this video. Lalo na for those who think that you are connecting to this topic. Again, we will talk about setting boundaries to improve your mental health. So again, tignan muna natin yung ating mga viewers this evening. Ayan. So again, tag a person, comment down below where you are, and lalo na yung mga makaka-relate sa pag-uusapan natin this evening. So again, ako lang ba yung nakaka-feel, or if you are connecting with me, na nahihirapan tayong to say no, or always feel that you like to say yes to many things but you don't know how to say no. Hindi mo alam kung paano ka tatanggi kasi you don't want others to think that you are rude, okay? Or hindi ka magaling pakasamahan, madaling pasuyuan, you are not kind because you don't know how to say no. So you don't want people to think that you are needy, arrogante, or high maintenance because you don't want to disappoint people by setting etong boundaries that we want to learn tonight. Ano nga ba yung boundaries? You are not alone, kapatid. You are not the only one who feels this way. Even me, myself, I also in the journey of setting boundaries. This is a tendency ng mga tao tendency ng mga tao na nahihirapan that leads them to anxiety, stress, and everything. We will talk about setting boundaries sa pag-improve ng inyong mental health. Kaya mahalaga to learn setting limits. No? On the other hand, they may relieve anxiety, stress, and offer you a sense of control and the power over how you live and spend your time. So first, tingnan natin, ano nga ba ang pag-usapan natin? Ano nga ba ang boundaries? Let's define what is boundaries. Ayan. Yan. So, boundaries. What do you mean by boundaries? Comment down below. Ano nga ba yung boundaries? So, just to share with you also, again, this is a learning session for everyone. And who is watching right now, if you are connecting, if you have your definition of boundaries, comment down below. Ang boundaries, ito yung pinagsamang external and internal. No? It limits ito yung limitation internally or externally, no, ang that will create for yourself. Ikaw yung gumagawa nito, internal and external. Pag sinabing external, ito yung rules that govern how you allow people to treat you, kung paano ka nila i-treat, no. External naman help you to maintain balance, or in other words, to treat yourself, demonstrate self-control, regulate your time, thoughts, emotion, and behavior. Yung dalawang to, designed to keep you safe, secure, and they should be based on your values. So that is the definition of boundaries. If you do have other definitions, comment down below. Next question is, kailan, okay? When and where should boundaries be implemented? Ano nga ba? Kailan nga ba ito nilalagay? Okay? In all part of our life, no, you should have a healthy limits. Take into the account sa itong mga bagay na ito. Yung una is, well, we have five limitations. So first is the spiritual. This term actually refers to your personal space. Physical. Yung physical space, privacy, and your body. This includes your sexual boundaries, which define what, when, how, and with whom sexual behavior takes place. Second on that, sa kailan natin ini-implement yung boundaries is our possession, personal items that are owned, okay, given away based on your possession. Ito yung mga bagay na meron kayo. So you also set boundaries, kanino nyo papahiram yung mga gamit ninyo, or sino yung pwedeng gumamit nito. At kailan ang hindi mo pwedeng ipahiram. Third is spiritual. You also set boundaries to your spiritual side of your life. It refers to your beliefs, interaction with God, and a higher power, nature, and other spiritual entities. You also set your boundaries. No? And the fourth one is your mental. It refers to your ideas and viewpoints, your opinions. So dito pumapasok yung ating mental health. Fifth is you also set boundaries on your feelings, your emotions, and actions. So these five, ito yung kailangan ang bawat isa is aware that you also set boundaries to your physical, personal items, spiritual, mental, and emotional. If you are connecting with me, comment down below, no? Ano dito sa part na ito ng aspects of your life ay ito yung ginagawa ninyo. Physical, personal, items, spiritual, mental, and emotional. So, the next question before we go to ano nga ba how to set healthy boundaries is, let's talk about the question is, kailangan mo ba talaga ng boundaries? If you need boundaries, comment down below. If you don't think you don't need boundaries, comment bakit. Okay? Because the answer to this question, bakit kailangan ko ng boundaries? Ang sagot dito ay malaking yes. YES. Because everyone requires limit in order to maintain healthy mental health. Lahat may limitation. Even the Superman has its own limit. No? Pati nga yung magic ni Fairy Godmother, okay, fabulous mother, dun sa Cinderella has its own limit. It's a sign that you have a strong internal boundaries. If you can take responsibility of your feelings, behaviors, especially when they connect to your to other people's feelings and action. No, if you probably noticed yung hatred, frustrations, anger, anxiety of or sense of being naaabuso na ako, it might suggest a lack of external boundaries and that you're being pushed past your own limitations and ideas. So if you think naaabuso na ako sa trabaho, naaabuso na ako, parang lahat na lang binibigay sa akin, no? Even over weekend, pati dapat personal time ko na, sa akin pa rin binibigay. So, ibig sabihin, you don't have control in setting boundaries externally, no? And internally, if you think na nakakaapekto na siya sa iyong feelings and behaviors, especially dealing with other people, nahirapan ka na. So the question to my question, the answer to my question, if you need any boundaries, the answer is yes. You need boundaries internally and externally to create boundaries for oneself, for yourself. You must first understand ano nga ba sila, what they are. Your basic values will decide. Question to follow is, are you unclear about your own values? Or clear ba ito or unclear? Now, because this is the great time for reflection. Ano yung mga values na pinapractice mo and that you believe to? You also pay attention to your emotions, prior experiences, and how you wish to represent yourself in the world. Okay? Ano nga ba yung mas importante sa'yo? Ano yung mas passionate about, that you are passionate about, na hindi mo dapat i-sacrifice? For example, after 5, no more work, you also, hindi ito pwedeng i-sacrifice yung magpapahinga ko after office hours, after working, especially now working from home, mas maraming cases of stress and anxiety working from home because some employers, they are talking to their employees beyond office hours. They did not set boundaries, and I'm lucky enough that I have I belong to the company or organizations that promotes boundaries, no, at the time of their people, and also allow for a space. It allows you for a space for self-awareness by using meditation, prayer writing, and being in nature. So it's possible that not all of this realization will occur at the same time, but it's okay. Again, it's okay. Just be patient and keep showing up for yourself. Again, you need boundaries. If you're connecting with me, comment down below. Yes, lalo na ngayong weekend. If you're connecting with me, nagtrabaho ka ba this weekend kahit wala kang pasok? Comment down below, okay? So, chinek mo ba yung email? Nag-check ka ba ng mga chats? Kahit hindi mo trabaho ngayong araw? Kasi hindi mo pinractice ang boundaries mo externally. Now, setting boundaries has its advantages, okay? So, before I move to my next discussion, merong advantage kasi yung ating pagsiset ng boundaries. Comment down below ano yung mga benefits of setting boundaries. Ayan, hi, Kuya Jacob. Thank you for watching live. Hello, Coach Tony. Ayan, thank you for watching. Ayan, si Kuya Jacob. Boundaries ang pinag-uusapan natin ngayon. Paano mo ba pinapractice ang boundaries internally and externally? Yan. And also watching live si Rashelin, Ate Rashelin, hello. Thank you for joining me tonight. Let's learn together. No? Now, dadako na tayo sa question. Setting boundaries has its own advantage because it's beneficial to both you and the people around you. Because people will change their action if you are clear about your boundaries. No, I have a colleague, ang pag nag-leave siya, nilalagay niya talaga doon sa profile picture niya is naka-leave siya. No, I'm on leave, I'm on PTO, or yun, or meron pa akong mga kilala na talagang may mga emails na I'll be on leave, notifying everyone na magli-leave ako at ibig sabihin nun, walang gagambala sa akin. Okay? And of course, professionally, if you're on leave, especially if you're leading people, if kailangan talaga yung position mo, you also delegate, no? Mag-delegate tayo kung sino yung kukontakin if ever. Again, beneficial to sa iyo at sa mga taong nakapaligid sa iyo because they will change their action if you are clear about your boundaries. When you are clear about your boundaries, people will understand your limitations and know what you are, okay? Ay, who you are and kailan ka hindi okay, kailan ka okay doon sa mga boundaries that you already set to them. You may not want people in your life who do not respect your limits. Again, gusto natin nire-respeto tayo at of course, we also give the same thing. Yan. So, yan, thank you so much. May mga nagko-comment. Sabi ni Rational, yes, let's learn together. Together. And I love the background. So refreshing. Thank you so much, Panteng. And of course, nag-comment si Rolf, it's being consistent about setting boundaries. Yes, thank you so much for your sharing your opinions. If you're connecting with me, go comment tayo. Okay, so merong mga healthy limits can also help you in the following ways, no? Marami siya. It also boosts your self-esteem, good for understanding of who you are and what you desire, your values, beliefs, and bringing your attention to yourself, improving your mental well-being, and burnout. Okay, it will help you to not to be burned out sa trabaho, sa mga ginagawa mo, your hustle. Okay, burnout should be avoided at all costs and become more self-sufficient and develop a strong sense of self-identity if you set boundaries. Now, let's go to uh, how to improve your well-being by setting boundaries or your mental health by setting boundaries. First is by being clear, okay, giving clear, upfront, and honest feedback about your limits is the greatest approach to start creating boundaries. Ito na yung una, is make your feelings clear. Communicate clearly. Again, as mentioned a while ago, that you share that you have limits. Hanggang dito lang ako. Okay, even your work, personal, dito lang ako. And all aspects of your life, mentally, physically, emotionally, physically, everything, you have your boundaries and you set that. You make your feelings clear. When discussing your views and feelings with someone else, be honest yet kind. Again, be honest yet kind. It's fine to spend few moments before and after the talk, okay, to gather your thoughts. Pag-isipan mo, to gather your thoughts and share to someone. Okay? But don't let that be an excuse to be quiet your feelings. Mamaya, nahihirapan ka na pala, hindi mo man lang sinasabi sa iba. Again, communicate clearly na, sorry, hindi ko na talaga siya gagawin because I have this schedule. Okay? I have this priority and this is my values. I value time. Okay? So you also make your feelings clear. Second to that is never jump to conclusion or guessing about another person's feeling. Okay? When setting boundaries, again, don't jump to conclusions because most of the people generalizing nag-generalize ng mga bagay in a relationship may lead to a lot of misunderstanding. Okay? So you might believe you know someone well enough to guessing what they're thinking, but always better to ask than to guess. Kahit kilala mo na siya, kahit sabihin natin matagal mo na siyang kilala, you also validate the feeling. Okay, never jump to conclusion before in setting boundaries. Ayan. Galing. Pa-shout out. Sabi ni Kuya Mike. Hi, Kuya Mike. Thank you for joining me tonight's Setting Boundaries. Tanong ko sa'yo, do you set boundaries? So, share mo naman, Kuya Mike, paano mo sineset yung boundaries mo? for yourself and for other people. Okay, so next ay again, tapos na tayo. Una doon is communicate clearly. Second is never jump to conclusions. Third on that is make sure that you follow through on what you say. Pag sinabi mong hindi ka gagawa or hindi ka tatrabaho or na weekend dahil wala kang work or you're on leave, you will not open your emails, your chats, no, or your anything or related. You do that. You follow. Okay? Setting limits but failing to enforce gives to other person the impression that they have an excuse to cross the line. Make no exemptions again to your limits. Hindi kahit, ay, sige na, close ko naman siya eh. Ay, sige na, pagbibigyan ko na eh. Because meron niyang kadugtong. Ibig sabihin noon ay hindi, in terms of disciplining yourself on setting boundaries, mababa. Okay, so without carefully considering them, make sure when you set your boundaries, you follow what you say. Otherwise, you can find yourself compromising on issues that you don't agree with. You set boundaries, tapos wala rin naman pala. May mga considerations ka din. Okay, so next up ay accountability. Accept accountability for your action. Instead of blaming or complaining people about the situation or how you're feeling, take a step back and consider your relationship choices. Again, going back to the tip number 1 is to communicate clearly and whether they may have contributed to prevent state or to prevent or contribute to the present state of things. Take accountability of setting boundaries. Be responsible in setting on it. Mhm. So, next na tayo is, eto, you cannot express your opinions for how you want to be treated in a relationship. But you are not responsible for your partner's emotion and or communication. Again, when it's time to move on, move on. You'll know that. Everyone has the right to be treated equally and with respect. Kung hindi nila nirespeto yung boundaries mo, then leave it. Move on. It may be the time to quit the relationship, okay, if someone does not respect your limits. Hindi ka maraming tawag gems that you can control everything. You have the limits. Lahat may limits. And if your relationship, okay, the people around you does not respect your limits, move on. Next is learn to say no. Lagi natin ito narinig, no? Learn to say no. Comment down below, paano nyo ba sinasabi sa tao na no, hindi pwede. No, hindi ko kaya. No, not today. Comment down below, paano nyo pinapractice saying no to yourself and to the people around you. Kasi maraming mga ways on how to say no. Number 1 na dyan, just say no. No second guessing. Just no. Because yung saying no is, complete sentence na yan. No. Again, marami pa. No? For example, I won't be able to make it. I have another commitment. Maraming salamat. I'm not available. I'm not able to take that on the right now. Parang pag may mga nagyayaya sa'yo or may nag-offer sa'yo, maraming salamat, but I'm not. And I'm not able to take that on right now. Thanks, for example, may invitation, may mga ganap, no? Kaso of course, pressing issues ngayon is yung pagkalat ng virus, no? Of course, you want to protect yourself too. So instead of saying other way to say no is, for example, thank you for thinking of me, but I have to say no. Yon. So if your people around you, they will understand that. That's good. Again, that's good. You are in the right relationship. because they have understood that you have limitation. You already signed, you have the power to say no. Mhm. And maganda doon sa sinabi natin that thank you for thinking of me. You compliment, you appreciate the gesture that they are inviting you, but you are saying no because you also protect yourself. So for example, another part, no, for example, may mga may mga invitations again, or may mga kailangan pagawa sa iyo, pero you're in a vacation mode. I'm sorry, I can't make it. I can't do that. Okay? So may mga ilan pa, lalo na ngayon may mga racket ka, so hindi yun yung wala yun yung ano mo state, parang focus mo ngayon because you also have your goal. Pasalamatan mo, thank you for thinking of me for this project. But I can make more work. I can take more work right now. But I would love to be considered for other things in the future. You're not declining the invitation. It's just that meron ka lang priority ngayon. No? For example, that sounds really interesting. Sa akin, maganda siya. I'd be happy to do it. But that means that I won't be able to submit. Okay? Especially pag may mga reports na pinapagawa, kaya ko siyang gawin, pero hindi ko kaya siyang submit this day. Okay? Can we talk about changing the priorities of some of my responsibilities? Yan. So, these are just some tawag dito, ways on how to say no. Yes, sabi ni Doc E.G., you can always say no. It's a nice way. In a nice way. Correct. Maraming mga bagay. And meron pa, yeah, thank you so much sa pa-heart, Mars. And sabi ni Rolf is, people oftentimes have difficulty in setting boundaries without offending someone. And again, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, that dahan-dahan we will practice, okay? We will do this, dahan-dahan, setting boundaries. Okay? So that's why we are in the journey of becoming. If right now, nahirapan ka on saying no, it's not the end. Okay? You learn more on how to say it. Maraming bagay. Again, ang active ng mga viewers natin this evening, no? Again, comment down below which suggestions or tips on how you set your boundaries that you think you can practice starting today or you're actually doing. Because setting limits for yourself may be challenging at first. Ako mismo, I'm in the journey, no, in setting boundaries, but it demonstrates that you care about your mental health, that you care about yourself. Okay, so consider the following. Number one is you make choices. Okay, again, sorry, wala ko. Ayan. Make your feelings clear. But before that, before I sum up yung anim na sinabi ko, bago ko makalimutan, no, consult if you think na you need someone that will help you in guiding, no, setting boundaries for yourself and for the people around you, or internally and externally. Consult to a certified mental health professional or a therapist, okay, or any accredited professionals that will help you. Again, if you want to consider, ito yung pinag-uusapan natin, no? First is you make your feelings clear. Make your feelings clear. Again, communicate clearly. Follow your instinct. Follow your instinct, no, your values. Look to your core values. Second is never jump to conclusion or guessing about another person's feeling. Third is make sure that you follow through what you say. You can start in small things, small steps in setting boundaries. And sa maliliit na bagay na yun will follow, lalaki siya ng lalaki, that you can able to say no to a bigger project, to a bigger situation. And number four is accept accountability for action. Take the responsibility and move on to the people around you that don't respect your limitations and boundaries. Let go. And again, we're on the journey and learn to say no. Ang daming ways to say no. And last but definitely not the least is if ever you need a professional health consultant to a certified mental health professionals. It might be difficult to prioritize oneself. Uh, lalo na lalo na kasi sinasabi ng maraming tao na we don't want to disappoint them. That's why it's really hard to say no to everything. Again, so again, setting boundaries is an important ability that may help you in healing and developing your relationships in the future. Boundaries helps us be more aware of ourselves and our relationship. Ito yung mga essential na self-care or mga developing tips, mental health tips on developing your self or your well-being. Prioritizing your oneself is one. It's also way for you to also set boundaries. Consider whether you have unhealthy boundaries and consider healthy ones. If you're unhappy, bitter, insecure in relationship, being taken advantage or abused, or losing your sense of self. It is also essential to remember that while boundaries might help you manage and change your emotions, they're not replacement for mental health treatment. Again, talk to a certified mental health professional if upsetting emotions or interfering with your everyday life. Kung hindi mo na siya makontrol, talk to a certified mental health professionals. Again, if you have, tingnan natin if meron may mga comments. Ayan, sabi ni Doc Ichi, as long as you are sincere and mean, you say there's no reason why you shouldn't be understood. Correct, agree ako dyan. So, and all, of course, lagi kong sasabihin sa inyo, if you're in a really, if you're in a circle of respecting your boundaries, they will understand that. Again, meron kasi sa coaching is may practice na you also meron kang circle. You have your circle and also external circle. You list down people na nandoon sa internal. And all, I mean, mas nasa small circle at list people ano yung mga nasa labas. And if ever may mga people from nasa loob, tapos doon sa situation, you think that they did not respect your boundaries, you put it outside. Okay, meron na akong boundaries sa'yo. So, you set healthy boundaries. Okay? So, if you have any questions and suggestions for my next session, feel free to contact me, message me, and subscribe to my channels, and like, share my videos. Schedule a free 60-minute mental health coaching to become aware and understand your mental health and develop strategies in setting healthy boundaries. Meron pa bang mga hahabol sa discussion natin? Okay, so kung meron, titingnan natin kahit sa mga replay. Maraming salamat. Thank you and see you next week for another session of live episodes. Your first step to develop, positive mental well-being, because your mental health matters, you matter. Bye-bye!